KTV's Amanda Quintana live in Oakland here. There is a strike materializing right behind you this morning, Amanda.
Yes, it started at 7 and they were ready at 7 o'clock. You can see people have a lot of different signs lined up here. This is Broadway here in Oakland. We've been hearing them do chants. You know, they've got bells, a lot of signs. They are calling this the unfair labor practice strike. Now, I was back here in October when this same group had a strike then. That one lasted 5 days. This one is open-ended, so we do not know how long it's going to last. Unions that are striking include the United Nurses Associations of California and the Union of Healthcare Professionals. They represent about 30,000 Kaiser employees across California and Hawaii, including registered nurses, lab professionals, nurse midwives, physical therapists, physician assistants, and more. They make up about 3% of Kaiser employees here in Northern California. They say there is a growing crisis caused by Kaiser's failure to invest in safe staffing levels, timely access to quality care, and fair wages for frontline workers. Kaiser says its hospitals, ERs, and nearly all medical offices will stay open during this strike, but some appointments might be shifted to virtual care. They do have employees ready to step in. Now,
So Kaiser Permanente nurses and employees are going on strike. We see this across the nation. There's another big strike, I believe, in New York for the nurses. These nurses feel like they ain't getting paid enough. They feel like they're not getting enough benefits. The big thing that's glaring to me about these nurse strikes is they're saying they're not getting the proper health insurance. How does a place like Kaiser that made $85.4 billion in 2024 not give their employees that work in the healthcare industry the proper health care? That doesn't make sense. Why would you not give your employees and nurses insurance, the proper insurance that they can actually use? This makes no sense to me. These people are around so many diseases and blood and all that, and you're telling me they can't get the proper health insurance? And also, too, they said they were trying to cut down their pensions. Also, too, they've been threatened about their life insurance policies and taking that away. But Kaiser is saying they're going to give them, I believe, 30% more in pay, but that doesn't make sense if I'm going to have to get rid of all of these benefits that I have. So what we see is they're trying to put the money in front of them, but take things from the back. So that's the thing we kind of see with these nurses as far as like, you know, Kaiser has 31,000 nurses. The big thing that you have to understand is these nurses are in California and I believe Hawaii, where they're mainly protesting at, is the cost of living in Hawaii and California is extremely high. So even if you gave these guys 30% more, it's still not enough. California and Hawaii are probably two of the most expensive places in the United States outside of New York and probably Washington. So you have to, when we look at these companies have to start paying, you know, proper wages that matches the cost of living. So you guys made $85 billion. And they said they made only $10 million net income. But if you know business, we know what that means, right? We know we can finagle those numbers. But what I'm looking at is these places, and that's the reason why those nurses are going on strike in New York, is the pay that they're getting is not matching to their cost of living. California, high rent, high taxes, schooling, you know, all those things are expensive. Gas. And you have companies that are there that are making billions and billions of dollars, but they're not paying the fair wages for the people because the people aren't living in, you know, New Mexico or Las Vegas and then coming to California. No, they live in California. You know, everything's expensive. So I really feel like they're just not matching the cost of living. And then also, too, trying to take away their benefits. It's just like Kaiser's trying to, you know, these places, these hospitals are trying to figure out a way to, you know, not give them their fair shake. But when you see these nurses, it's 31,000 and for Kaiser nurses and employees, and I know it's another large number in New York, they are fed up. But the cold part about this is when these nurses go on strike, they get these other nurses, these traveling nurses, and these traveling nurses get paid like 2-3 times the amount that a regular nurse would get paid. So this tells you right there, if a hospital is willing to pay a travel nurse 2-3 times more than what a regular nurse is getting, Why can't they get that money to the regular nurse that's going to be there and and going to be dependable? So that's the thing that we look at. It's like these traveling nurses right now are just doing this. They gonna make so much money. So that's what people don't understand about this. Because these hospitals are like, oh, we got people. Yeah, they're traveling nurses, and they get paid big bucks. Most likely, most of the time, they get free housing. So why can't these hospitals do that for the people that's going to sacrifice with them every single day? But that's what we see from the people at Kaiser. They're striking because they had enough.
The two have been bargaining for 7 months to try to reach a contract agreement. A representative for Kaiser says this comes at a time when healthcare costs are rising and millions of Americans are at risk of losing health insurance. In a statement saying, quote, "This underscores our responsibility to deliver fair, competitive pay for employees while protecting access and affordability for our members. We are doing both." Kaiser also claims the alliance employees already earn on average about 16% more than similar roles in other healthcare organizations and 24% more in some markets. Kaiser says its current proposal, that they're calling the strongest compensation package in its national bargaining history, includes a 21.5% wage increase over the life of the contract, with 16% within the first 2 years. But the nurses here say it is not enough. They say they're taking away some of their other benefits. They're taking away some of their health care, life insurance, retirement, even though they are offering that 21.5%. So there's this large strike here. There's also one in Santa Clara and in Roseville. But, we've just been seeing this grow. As soon as it started at 7, there are a few people, but really it's been growing since then. So we do expect them to be here all day. Live in Oakland, Amanda Quintana.
Basically, we got to take care of our nurses. We got to take care of the women and the men that's out there on the front lines, basically dealing with people that are sick every single day, dealing with people that's going through it every single day. We got to take care of the nurses. We got to take care of the people that's sacrificing, and, they should be getting paid a lot of money because of what they're doing. They should get their health benefits. They should get their life insurance. They shouldn't be getting shysted. But I do believe that what's really difficult for these businesses that's in like California and Hawaii, yes, you'll make a lot of money because you're there. But I feel like you have to match the cost of living. With apartments that now at $3,000, $4,000 a month in a good neighborhood, you got to factor that in when you're paying these people. Like, people don't want to work just to live. See what I'm saying? They don't want to work and all their money is going just living. They're not even living. They're just living, right? And what we see with these companies, they're trying to figure it out. But look, you made $85 billion. You claim $10 billion in income profits, but you probably made 30 or 40. So let's keep it G and take care of the people that's making you money. I'm a firm believer in, if you got people working for you and dedicated to you, they got to get paid. They got to get paid. And especially if it's in California, Hawaii, these places that are so expensive, where gas is damn near $6 a gallon, where rent is $3,000, $4,000 just for a 1-bedroom in a solid neighborhood, where these schools are so damn terrible, where you might want to put your kids into private school because then that's going to cost you $30,000 to $40,000 a year. These companies got to start paying that. These companies got to start paying that, or they'll just be paying triple amount for traveling nurses, which is insane to me. So shout out to the Kaiser Permanente nurses. Hopefully they get the bag. Hopefully they get to do their thing, and I'll just keep my eye on it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Become a member of the Patreon. Go get our Patreon. Will be in the link below. No Filter Morning Show coming very soon. I appreciate you guys' support. Keep on going, no matter how your day is going. Just keep pushing. I appreciate you guys. I'm out.